Several reports emerged on the internet as concerns Zagadat Capital, the investment vehicle of Mr. Eazi, suggesting that he had sold secondary buyouts of his portfolio company, Vydia. Yeah, what is the information? Of course, the information went to add that he is now worth $1 billion or so based on that buyout that happened. Was it buzz or was it really truth? You know, this is another edition of Stitchin. And before we dive into the story, remember to click in that red button below, follow us on our several social media platforms. Don't go anywhere. Amidst all of the information going on the internet as concerns Mr. Eazi's new billionaire status, there is so much more to it. Many people are claiming that Vydia is Zagadat Capital portfolio company, while others are saying that Vydia is owned by Mr. Eazi. But what is really the truth as far as this information is concerned? Well, let's dive right into it. Vydia is a music tech company. There are several music tech companies out there like Spotify, Apple Music, and a lot more, you can name it. Vydia is one of those music tech companies, but Vydia is a music tech company that helps artists to manage, monetize, and distribute their art on different platforms. This company was founded in 2012 and is right now spearheaded by the CEO, Roy Lamana, and during this period of time of their existence, they've been able to raise about $8 million from the time of existence to now. In 2022, Vydia was purchased or bought over by Gamma, and Gamma is spearheaded by Larry Jackson, who is a former executive of Apple. Yeah, it's important to note that Vydia was already bought over in 2022, even though the information came on the internet just in 2023. I can bet you didn't even know that anything existed like Vydia. It is important to note that the terms and conditions of the deal of acquisition of Vydia by Gamma was not disclosed as far as social media is concerned. So if you take note very well, all through this conversation right now, I haven't really mentioned any amounts of money except the $8 million that Vydia made during their process. According to public record, neither Mr. Eazi nor Zagadat Capital are investors in Vydia. According to Crunchbase names different platforms about 6 investors in Vydia company, and all of the 6 companies that invested in Vydia, Zagadat Capital is not one of them. It is also important to note that when you search Zagadat Capital's social media platform with respect to this information that has been circulating on the internet, you don't find anything in relation to Vydia. In fact, about just 3 posts are made on their platforms, including Twitter and Instagram. Will it be reasonable to say that they hit such a big deal as far as this internet age is concerned and decided to keep it without posting? Well, you should be wondering, what is the connection of Mr. Eazi to Vydia then? And where did all of the conversations of billions and investment and buying out and secondary portfolio and portfolio company really come from? Why Mr. Eazi isn't an investor in Vydia, the connection he has with the company is partnership with Empower Africa to launch Cinch Distro, a music distribution platform. However, a representative from Empower Africa claims that Empower Africa Ghana invested in Vydia in 2021, while a tweet from Mr. Eazi actually really supports this post. The fact that Empower Africa Ghana did invest in Vydia at some point. We already know that the Empower Africa platform is one of the distribution companies of Mr. Eazi. He's been working with a couple of artists like Joe Boy, and you already know, and they've been doing amazing across Africa. But again, does that in any way mean that Mr. Eazi owns Vydia? No. Partnership? Yes. Zagadat Capital? Of course not. Empower Africa Ghana? Yes. Some investment. With focus just on Vydia, I am actually really still a little bit surprised with the fact that there are conversations about $1 billion being spoken about on the internet. Let's dive right into it. Why is there so much fuse about $1 billion? If we look at it very well, just like I mentioned before, from Series A investment that Vydia received all through their existence, they've made over $7 million. And looking at that, it is unlikely possible that Vydia should possibly be bought for up to $1 billion. From statistics that I've found and research that I've done as far as the internet is concerned, this money or amount mentioned is probably making reference to the investments that have been done to Gamma. And Gamma is a company created by former Apple executive creative director Larry Jackson. Yes, important. Gamma is a company that is focused on trying to change the way artists distribute and manage your art. Hence the reason why they bought Vydia in the first place. So it's also important to note that Gamma has had a series of investors, of course, during this period of time, and one of the investors is from a company like Rich, a company that we already know may be owned by Chelsea's owner Todd Boehly, and of course Apple and A24. There's a wide range of people that have invested in Gamma, and you want to look at it, it's possible that they could be at $1 billion status. But how true is really that too? In as much as the companies that have invested in Gamma are really big, worldwide acclaimed companies such as Todd Boehly's company, Apple and A24, it's important to note that all the investments that are made have not been disclosed online on any platform. So we can't even assume that the $1 billion is even investments made to Gamma. According to these conversations that we have already had, the big question is Mr. Eazi a billionaire in US dollars or not? Well, the answer is simple. I don't think he is yet. Totally unlikely. In as much as we know that Mr. Eazi is a hard worker, and we already know, as described by Akon, he's a very smart artist. Zagadat Capital, his investment firm, only has one publicly disclosed deal, an investment into fintech startup PowerPay. There have also been no indication that it has raised or is raising a fund to invest in more companies. A representative from Empower Africa has, however, disclosed the fact that Zagadat Capital has invested in a couple of companies such as Empower Africa and Bed Power and a host of other companies. But does that place Mr. Eazi in the billionaire status like other platforms claim? Is Mr. Eazi as rich as Femi Otedola, his in-law, as the internet claims? Of course not. Totally unlikely. Did he own or make any buyout in his portfolio company Vydia? Of course not. Vydia is not owned by Mr. Eazi. And yeah, in as much as we wish Mr. Eazi so much more, and we know he's a smart artist and he can get to the $1 billion perspective as far as Africa and the world is concerned, well, it's not just time yet. And in as much as he's running a wide host of companies and making investment everywhere, we totally believe that this is an artist that has the potential to amass billions and billions even in the nearest future. On to the next thing. I guess it's no longer news to you that Davido killed it in the Timeless concert that happened in Lagos a few days ago. Yes, it was a big show, big vibes, but is that what caught our attention? Of course not. What caught our attention was Iyanya. Recently, Twitter went ablaze. And why was Iyanya the topic of the conversation? First of all, it's important to note that Davido invited a wide range of artists, both the new and the old, the bad, the good, and the ugly. Yes, and some of the old artists who have been there and gracing the urban industry in Africa for the past years was Iyanya. Yes, but was it his performance that got the attention of people? Of course not. It wasn't. Recently, Iyanya posted a tweet that got people talking. And what was the tweet about? Iyanya was making claims to the fact that there's a girl that he saw that was interested in him the whole night, but he could not give attention to this girl because he was on the job and he needed to focus on the job. But now that he has gotten up, he's trying to find who this girl really is. And if the girl is in the comment section, the girl should better get to him. Why was that a problem? Well, internet broke loose because Iyanya seemed to have posted somebody's girlfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, the girl in question that Iyanya posted came to the concert with her boyfriend. Yes. And how do we know that? Because when Iyanya made this post online, the internet broke loose on him. Like, can you imagine? Can we really have real relationships anymore? Imagine going to a concert with your boyfriend and then at the end of the day, there's a popular artist that is posting your girlfriend on the internet. How are you even going to handle an issue like that? There's a video on the internet showing this girl and her boyfriend at the Timeless concert. Well, Iyanya, on the other hand, came and posted that he wants to meet this girl's boyfriend. I mean, how far can disrespect get, right? I know. Sometimes you need to make money. Or are girls just going after the fame or what? The biggest question of all is, how did Iyanya have access to this girl's picture? Making claims of the fact that he saw this girl and did not get a hold on her because he was busy with the music or with the job. So how did he have access on the picture? Who took the picture that he posted? There's questions for the gods, right? Well, that's what's making rounds on the internet these days. We want to know what your opinion is as far as this information is concerned. If you love our show and you love what we're giving you every week, remember to click in that red button below. Follow us on our several social media platforms. And remember, this is Stitchin, where we're weaving stories stitch by stitch. Stay tuned on Karawa Media, where we give you what's hot and what's not. Your ever smiling black boy, Karawa.